Hi everyone, greetings from National Skills Network and Drone Fluence. Now, if you're wondering what is Drone Fluence all about, it's an initiative from NSN, National Skills Network, to create awareness about the emerging industry that's the drone, UAV and the geospatial technologies industry and the training and skills required. In addition to that, we would also like to know about the sunrise industry itself, what is the potential it has to create a difference in employment, in self-employment, and various other aspects in India. And to carry on with this conversation today, I'm very privileged to introduce you to the entire leadership team of IG Drones. So we have with us today Mr. Rashmi Ranjan Mohapatra, who is the board member and mentor for the IG Drones team. And we have with us Bodhisattwa Sanghapriya, who is known as Bodhi popularly, the CEO and co-founder. And we also have Prakash with us, who is the co-founder of IG Drones. So these young co-founders have a lot to tell us, about their passion for drones and how they are getting mentored by Mr. Mohapatra. So let's go ahead. Bodhi, maybe you can start by telling us the entire story of IG Drones itself.
Definitely. So thank you, Madhuri. So I think NSN is the voice of skill industry, and whatever you are doing actually for the greater good and for creating that awareness among the Indian youth for getting off skilled, getting reskilled for the for the upcoming industry revolution. And thank you very much for actually initiating this program, particularly focusing on the drone and the drone influencers. So drone is the new thing, and the drone is the next revolution, and the drone revolution has already begun, and we all know. So drones are not just limited to military and defense uses. The civilian application of drones are we have been seeing the drones in multiple applications in multiple verticals. Maybe it's oil and gas, infrastructure, roads, bridges, survey and mapping, and many more verticals. So particularly the agriculture that close to all of our hearts, because so we are a predominantly agriculture driven economy, and so like 80 to 90% of our population depends on agriculture. So drones, definitely in near future, drones will revolutionize the entire agriculture industry. So before starting the journey of IG drones, I will give you a brief of idea how we started, because that is very important. That will actually encourage a lot of young entrepreneurs who want to take the journey of drone as a drone entrepreneur, and they who want to start their own drone venture. So me and both started the drone IG drones 4.5 years back. We were from the same university. In fact, Rasmi Sar is from the same university. He's just like our he's not just our mentor and board members. He's also our university senior. So in university senior, so we are like brother to each other. So even if we have a huge year gap, so just like we are just younger brother to him. And so me and just joined the university back in 2014, and as soon as we joined the university, we just realized whatever the curriculum we are having in the university is not is supporting our passion, our our passion for doing something new. And then we together, me and explored the robotics club, automobile club, coding club, and all other university clubs and activities clubs present. And finally, we decided and we'll do something new, that is completely new. And finally, we gathered a team of 40 members comprising our seniors, juniors, and our batchmates. And we started building our own rocket. We're in University College of Engineering. So currently it's known as BSSUT Burla. So University College of Engineering was established in 1956. The foundation stone was led by Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, the then Prime Minister of India. So it is close to a dam called Hirakud Dam. I'll tell you more about that in later. So after getting into the university, it's a 65 years old university. So after getting into the university, we just realized this all these curriculums is not fit for our passion. So we explored everything, and we finally settled down. We'll do something innovative, and we gathered a team, and we started building our own rockets. Yes, rockets, and and everybody laughed at us. And so So it's when you say so you are building rockets. Recently, Skyroot launched a rocket, so that's why everybody now starts believing that yes, anybody can actually launch a rocket. But back then, everybody laughed at us. So they thought we are building some kind of Diwali stops and Diwali rocket and crackers. And but we keep continuing our journey, and we failed multiple times. We failed 50 plus times, and finally we were able to launch our rocket, and our rocket reached to an altitude of 16,000 feet AGL, and it
Hmm.
became Asia's first multi-purpose student rocket. And
Okay.
Prime Minister lauded our efforts in his Man Ki Baat program, and PMO office actually instructed ISRO to visit our facility and to figure out how a bunch of engineering kids in a remote part of India has actually developed such a high-end technology. When ISRO team visited our facility, they were quite surprised the way we have developed the technology in just an Indian jugaad method. And they just announced one of its kind center of excellence in our university and completely undertaken the project. When the ISRO completely undertook the project, so the real transition happened. So mentors like Rashmi sir and all of our mentors, they told us, you guys have proved yourself as an innovator, but nobody knows if your technology is really viable in the market. So if you want to really continue your journey as an innovator or maybe an entrepreneur, you should definitely focus more into on the selling the technology and finding it a market fit. So we took it as a challenge, and we thought we'll definitely whatever we have developed as a technology, we'll definitely try to sell it to the market. Our
Hmm.
original project was aimed at monitoring world's largest dam. It's Hirakud Dam. Uh, our rocket will launch to an altitude of 40 kilometers. Then it will actually do the remote sensing through our own satellite. It will do the remote sensing of Hirakud Dam. So we have gained the experience of building rocket and analyzing the geospatial data. So what we thought, so the new so the space technology is still in the nascent stage, and the closest domain we can see is actually the drone, and the drone revolution has already begun. So whatever experience we have gained from that project and working with ISRO and DRDO senior scientists, so we thought, oh, drone is the next big revolution, and we should start definitely venture into drone. So we approached a nearby industry. There was a plant of Aditya Birla, and we proposed our solution. They were quite happy with our solution, and they asked us the legal documents. In that time we didn't have a company. We had absolutely no idea about what is GST and certificate of incorporation and all. This is how we actually registered a company in our final year of engineering, and finally we became entrepreneurs. And so then we onboarded Reliance, and 4.5 years down the line, we have now 150 enterprise clients already onboarded our platform. But very interesting. So we are like working on the 12 different industry verticals. So it's all about industry, and we are how we are actually revolutionizing the industry with the drone technology. But the twist came when actually we how we entered into the skill development. So definitely, if Rasmi sir is sitting here, so you can actually get an idea how we actually entered into it. But I'll tell you the story. What is the background story? What is the motivation behind it? And we actually were working with one of India's largest conglomerate in a project in the North India. So we faced a lot of problems. So the first, so earlier, so there was a mindset in the entire drone industry. All of my colleagues in the drone industry, they used to tell that if you want to fly the drone, you must be aeronautical engineer.
Okay.
So in that mindset, so even we were also hiring the aeronautical engineers. And if you send aeronautical engineers to a remote plant, remote part of India and like a very inaccessible area, so do you think so they will go there and do the drone flying and all of these field works? So it's not possible. So what I used to believe that if you want to run a car, so you need to drive the car, so the driver will drive. It's not the automobile engineer who will drive the car. So automobile engineer's responsibility to build and make and design the car, not to drive the car.
Yeah.
So in that times when we are in the so much problem that because we are not able to deliver the project because of the all this manpower shortage, everything, nobody is agreed to go to the field and complete the work. And that time, so our guru, so Rashmi sir, actually guided us, mentored us. So what exactly needs to be done?
Hmm.
And drone was still a nascent industry. If you look into the drone industry, most of the drone companies are actually run by the youngsters.
Hmm.
We need to accept that we don't have that kind of industry outlook. that other industry has already followed and established that process. So somehow, as an industry veteran, Rashmi sir guided us that what exactly needs to be done. So we figured out a major problem, a major lacuna in the industry, the gap between industry and academia. So
Okay.
who will be the drone pilot? Who will be the drone technician? Or who will be the drone designer? So there is absolutely no clear idea. Even today, if you look into the picture, even nobody knows about clearly. Even still, people are like exploring what exactly needs to be done. Back in 2018, back in 2019, so we figured it out that this gap, the skill gap between industry and academia needs to be filled. And this is how we started IG Drone Center of Excellence
Mhm.
to fill the gap between industry and academia.
Great, great story, and a lot of inspiration for young people who will be watching this conversation, I'm sure. The way you took this step into entrepreneurship, and also the story of designing, the drones and other things that you shared with us. And you're very fortunate to have a mentor like Mr. Mohapatra. So, can we hear from you, sir? How is the story from your side? So you kind of took up the role of mentoring and guiding them. So how do you foresee this industry sector unfolding today, sir, compared to the years when you actually started it all?
No, I think first let me thank you first, Madhuri. You have been a very close associate for quite long. And you know the way we have worked through the skill sector
Yeah.
in different domains. So very interesting. I must thank you and congratulate you and the whole team to carry out that wonderful work.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
And with my founders, you can see the kind of energy they bring in.
Yeah.
They are contagious. So that's it. Means I always say they are contagious. The energy they bring in is like absolutely contagious. You can get infected by those kind of sheer energy and the passion they bring into the table.
Right.
In fact, we always challenge ourselves that what is that I can bring into the board and bring into the table, and that is where we keep challenging ourselves. Like the first thing is. When you see the youngsters coming up, you yourself are very passionate to see that how they can scale it up. Because I actually live my dream through them.
Okay.
Because when we were starting, we never had an opportunity to start something new. We had a lot of different kind of pressure when we were growing up.
Yeah.
So it was wonderful to see youngsters and particularly like coming from the same alma mater. Like Bodhi and Om, and they are leading the stuff. So it was much easier to relate to them. And I would say that they made my life much more easier. It was like holding on to them many of the times to tell them like this is something we will not do. I would still say that I tell them something not to do than what to do, because they do a lot of things. So I just come in sometime and tell, no, this is not something you're going to do.
Okay.
So it was like more like not to do than what, because they do everything. So we are there and we have been expanding. We are there like from the team side, from the verticals, from the geographical presence, the number of offices, the branches what we have, our phenomenal growth in the Center of Excellence. We went up rapidly with the kind of network what we have with the colleges and the schools and the universities. And the way we have gone ahead with IG drones, so that the brand itself is something to reckon with in the Indian context. And today, in fact, when both my founders were in Dubai, I thought we are just arriving in the global platform. So that was something what we look forward to, we aspire to. But coming to the skill side, it is always easy to relate, the skill gaps. It's always very easy. You can see the dearth of talent who are going to come forward. And you know that one, we always have a challenge in the Indian context where we have students or we have people who tell that we don't have jobs. And the other side, the flip side is we don't get the required or the desired manpower. Yeah. And this is where we were understanding. And when we were looking at this industry, we fully understood that it is going to grow up in a massive proportion. And to do that and to grow massive, you need to also have talent, which should be like creating the pool of talent who are going to do that. So as you can listen to Bodhi intently, he was telling that we had these challenges because we had a dearth of drone pilots.
Yeah.
And then we found out that if we have the drone pilots, then the technicians are also there and the whole ecosystem has to be created. When you try to create the ecosystem, you can clearly understand and visualize there are gaps in the system.
Yeah.
So then we found out that it is good to, like at each level of the academia, we must get involved and see to it that how we are able to kind of transfer this know-how, knowledge from our side. And I think I must say that from IG Drones, we did a phenomenal job, a much commendable job, and the whole credit goes to actually both Bodhi and Om to work on the curriculum side. We did work with a lot on the curricula and had seen to it that it is kind of implemented in the right manner. Thinking something, designing something with the founders, I found out it is much easier. But then implementing it to the ground, I give the credit to both of them, and that's why because they actually tried it. So that is where we started the first Center of Excellence, working with ITI Katak when we started a little work with them, but our first signing of Center of Excellence was with ITI Bhubaneswar.
Okay.
Bodhi and Om, just correct me, I think we started there.
Yes, sir. Yes, absolutely.
And then we can clearly see the difference when we started to like getting students who were sort of intern for us, and we started kind of getting them right on the job, right on the field. And this is where was the game changer. And I must take a quote from Bodhi. Bodhi, I would like you to say that when I liked the phrase when Bodhi was coining it, from the can you Bodhi. So I would refrain speaking. I would like him to tell that one. And we have been proud to use that word. And that's what something I believe that should be driving us for the next decade.
We have been doing a lot of enterprise projects. So we have already executed like 300 plus, projects all across India. We are basically a K2K company. K2K means Kashmir to Kanyakumari, Kutch to Kohima. So it just within 48 hours, because of our ecosystem, because of our micro entrepreneurs network, we can mobilize any team to any part of the location just within 48 hours because of the technology we are having and because of the ecosystem we are having surrounding IG drones. And this is the quickest turnaround time, not in India, in the entire globe. So in the drone industry. So how we have actually achieved it, why the enterprise projects is also important when we are talking about upskilling, reskilling, and all these capacity building programs. So the enterprise project is also important because this is how you actually earn your bread and butter. This is how all these skill aspirants will be placed and they will actually find a better job and better life opportunity for them. So when we actually explored this opportunity in the particularly in the skill development sector, so we our primarily even today our primarily focus is on the ITIs because what we feel that they are the most neglected people in the entire industry. So we used to treat them, even we are still treating them as third class laborers in the industry. So this is the fact, and we need to accept that. And they are treated as laborers in multiple industries. And when IG drones came into the picture, so in the IG Drone Center of Excellence network, and so why we actually empower these ITI students and why we are actually motivating them to take up the drone courses and upskill themselves and start their own drone business or join us as a drone pilot or maybe drone technicians. So what exactly we are doing in the IG Drone Center of Excellence, we are actually changing their life. So it's not about we are a training company because we are an industry itself. Whatever we are doing, you can consider it as a part of our corporate social responsibility program or that sorts of thing. So we are actually transforming their life from what to what. We're transforming their life from dust and dirt. We know how the ITI students are treated in the industry. From dust and dirt, we are transferring their life to drone and dignity. So it's a complete D to D transformation.
Wow. Great. Very nice way of putting it. I think we from NSN have been talking about making skilling aspirational. So this is a live example of how you have applied all these aspirational elements, I would say, in designing your plan. And from Om, can we hear a little bit from you, Om, about, I think there isn't much clarity about the kind of training for various roles. Because as you very rightly said, this is an emerging industry, and it is not a typical job role like like different job roles that we have. So a drone pilot, maybe a drone technician, and encouraging probably girls to get into this training. Would you be telling us a little more about this, how it works?
Thank you, Madhuri, like to invite IG Drone, our entire team to the NSN portal. Like, so we'll thank you, your team, to organizing this event. So you are doing a wonderful job in the skill ecosystem to empower you, like the ecosystem. So in IG Drone, so like as you mentioned, rightly mentioned about, like you asked about the job role. So
Yeah.
drone is a vast industry. In the industry itself, there are different job role. So in drone, we have job role for, like, we have opportunity for as a electronics engineer or a electronics, like different job role, like drone pilot, data capturing, drone assembly technician, drone manufacturing, like drone R&D, and the most important part will be the do like post processing of drone data. So it's a different job role for different industry. So when we talk about drone, so our perception was it's only about the job role is involved only about to fly the drone. It's not like that. There are multiple opportunity, multiple job role around the industry. So if we talk about women and women in the drone ecosystem, in the drone skilling ecosystem, so they can because in different industry, like in assembly line, they have already proved their skills and their knowledge. So let's talk about drone assembly line. A girl can definitely like suitable to assembly a drone and do some basic designing and R&D on drone and do the backend design, backend like analysis, data analysis of drone data. Even if like some like now as per the, because if you go through the data, so 30% girls are interested to become a drone pilot. They're doing the experiment, they're doing the training, because like as like today girls are, they are very empowered, like they want to understand, they want to, like they take the challenge about to like go to field to capture the data, because sometimes the drone capture the data in the site, it's a very challenging as well as very advantageous job, right? Let's say, so we capture data, like let's say there is a disaster, there is a flood.
Yeah.
So many volunteer, and we in like in the last 3 years we covered 6 disaster in India. So with our team as well as our own from our IG drone network, so we serve to different state government and different department in the ecosystem. So that is the point. Like the past, yes, like as you asked, yes, there are many job roles, and the opportunity is a huge opportunity, because in the ecosystem itself, there huge verticals are there. And as India will be the next drone hub, and in India, drone is the next big thing. As you know about the like Indian government policies and like supports about the ecosystem. So in India, the drone will be next big thing, and again, India will be the leader in drone ecosystem in world.
Yeah. Thank you, Om, for sharing these insights on the training part. Definitely.
And actually, I want to add something. So, Om just mentioned about women. So, in the participation of women, I think must be aware about like Rashmi Sir's initiative in participation of women in the welding, and he's the pioneer in that. And definitely, how we can actually forget women participation in drones. So we have like currently like 150 people in our team. So we don't call them employees; we call them our team members. And I'm proudly say that. So 40% of them are women. So we're a woman-driven company.
That's really great accomplishment to make it so inclusive, I would say, Bodhi. And also, while Om was talking about the job roles and the training, I remembered on your social media platform on LinkedIn, I think you had shared a very interesting update, a graphic about the job roles in the domains, in the drone domain. There were so many of them. I still remember those icons.
Correct.
I wish I could
It
share.
went viral actually. All people
Yeah.
across the world, they started sharing it.
Yes, we were very amazed to see. As I said, my team and including me, we are continuously researching about this sector, and your LinkedIn page is a source of lot of learning for us. The updates that you share. So,
Thanks to our
sir,
branding and marketing team, so who works day and
mhm.
night to always
Yeah,
present a good content on our
that's
podcast.
much needed, I think.